My name's Kate and I'm one of the founder members of the Positive Start Food Group. We decided to come here en masse because the group is run quite cooperatively. We consult everybody in the way it's run, and it seemed important to have some of the more important characters here today. We started in May 2016 and we had a conversation with FareShare. They just happened to be around the area dropping into schools to see whether or not we needed any help with Breakfast Club. And we got into a conversation about another project that I run. We have a group of youth volunteers. We take on a residential trip, and food is one of the massive parts of our budget for that trip. And we were really struggling to raise funds for that. And they suggested that we join them as a member for £100 a month, and we would have access to 25 trays of food every week. In fact, what we did was we took 25 trays with us on our trip, and we came back with about half of those, and realised then, as we distributed that food to local people after the trip, that there may be a way of helping local people. And so Food Group was born. We consulted with another member of FareShare to see how they had run things, and decided we'd give it a trial run. So this was based in a primary school where I worked, and I met Sultana, and she began to be the sort of coordinator of the group. It was a very small group that ran it in the early days. It was my car that picked up all the food, and until later date when it was involved in a crash. But we decided that there would be 3 strands to the group. They are to reduce food waste, to alleviate food poverty, and to assist with household budgeting. We wanted 3 strands like that because we didn't want there to be a stigma about attending the group. We thought that, if people need food, then they've got enough troubles in their lives without having to come and beg for it from somewhere. And we hoped that by having the food waste beside the food poverty, it would attract all people from all walks of life. And that's what it did. And in the early stages, we had school staff members, people on part-time wages that were struggling, standing beside the head teacher who was there because he wanted to help with the food waste side of things. The food waste is provided by Tesco's. Sorry, my ears picked up at that point. We're a member of the Food Cloud. So as a charity, we can be a member of the Food Cloud for free. We're given an allocated night when we go and pick up what would normally have gone into waste. In the early days, so James used to do the collection with me, we would pick up probably about 6 huge sacks of bread. And that's all we got, really, wasn't it, for about 6 months or so, while they adjusted to the way that Food Cloud was working. Now that things are better, we have a huge variety of food that we collect, and there's a whole rota of people helping collect it as well. So the way it ran was that if people needed to access us or wanted to access us, they would become a member of our group. That was the early way we worked things, and to begin with it worked okay, but it was a bit admin heavy. And so we decided just before we moved over from the school into Positive Start Charity that we would change the way people access the group. And now they're asked for a suggested donation, and they either pay that or they don't. Nobody has to pay anything. They can go home with 2 or 3 bags of food, whether they've given a donation or not. So yeah, in the early days, as I say, it was a very sort of personal project, and it was quite labour heavy on us. In November last year, it became necessary to move out of the school, and we were really lucky. We'd already worked with a charity called Positive Start in the past, and we knew that they had a shop front and a cellar for storage. And fortunately, they said we could move in there. So last November we moved in there, and things began to change a bit. So I'll pass you on to our coordinator, Sultana, now.
Hi everyone. So since moving to Positive Start, lots of different organisations approached us wanting to help. So we have regular volunteers who were members and now they volunteer every Friday and Thursdays. We have the veterans and community and Real who helps us with transport. So they go to Preston, Fairshare, Recycle Lives to pick up all the food and drop it off. We also have another volunteer who collects the bread for us from Tesco. But we also get lots of fresh fruits and vegetables at the end of the day. And we also make up emergency food parcels for Citizen Advice Bureau and for people who may need the food. And because the project was doing so well, we now have a sister group at Accrington College.
Hi, well, I got involved. I had an industrial injury and I ended up without work for about 18 months. And I became very depressed. There's nothing worse than watching TV all day. And when you're on your own, you get in a bad place, you don't want to do. And for years and years, Kate had always told me about volunteering and how it gets you out of things. And I'll be honest, I always poo-pooed it. I thought, I'm not getting involved. I don't want to know. I think you're crazy. I don't want to know. Well, that was it. And all of a sudden I thought, well, I'm stuck. I told them I'll not be able to work again. And I was down in the dumps. I was really down. And I all of a sudden thought, well, I've always used my body, and not to be able to use your body, you think, my word, I'm not educated. What do you do? So I started volunteering at a school at St Mary's in Rawtenstall. And while I was there, the opportunity came up for this the food project started, and I started volunteering. I was just basically collecting the food in Preston, coming back and up distribute it. What it actually did for me, it gave me back confidence. It brought me back into the community, and I started meeting lots of fantastic people who were in a similar boat or for many, many different reasons. And it was a fantastic community, I feel. Right now, I know you were saying earlier about 2008 when the communities felt like they'd been ripped apart. Well, this was actually putting the community back together. And it didn't matter whether you were English, Chinese, Russian, Asian, Muslim, it didn't matter. It didn't matter at all. Everybody just helped each other. Well, finally, I got really lucky, and I've got a job at Accrington College, and I absolutely love it there. And then within a month or two, I just realised that this project would be really good in Accrington College. So I went into the dean, and I put forward this idea, maybe we should do it in Accrington College, and she loved it.
I loved it because I love a good old crazy idea. And I have many of them, and we do many projects. We are involved in the study stuff, as you presented earlier, and lots of other things, recovery college and so on, polytunnels and God knows what. So a food group to me was just a brilliant idea. The faces I met in the senior leadership team when I suggested was, Charlotte's had another crazy idea, let's roll with it. So we set up, we are separately from the college, a different account and all that, a charitable organisation, not for profit. For me, it was really important. Every year, I don't know how much you know about Accrington Rochdale College, other than that we're not doing particularly well at the moment, and we are in a financial crisis, as most further education colleges are. We serve a large proportion of mature returners or adult learners who want to upskill to get a chance in life and get a new job maybe, or get a job for the first time. So to me, every year I have adult learners who leave us in tears because they have to go and earn money to pay to get food on the table at home. So a food group to me would help those mature adult learners to actually access a bit more support around their studies. It was a perfect idea. So James, me and one other volunteer in the college got involved, got set up. We employed Sultana to run the food group, and it runs every Wednesday. It's really popular, but not just among students. We have a lot of staff accessing it because it has this dual purpose, triple purpose. But the food waste, this idea is really a great one. And if you see the kind of things that come through, you think, like you were saying before, it is criminal what we are throwing out as a population when there's so many other places, bellies that could go. That's me.
That's it.
Over to Kate.
So sort of in conclusion, really, we've found that the food group is more than food. It is a real social experience, and it's brought communities together, and it's helped people re-engage with their communities. It provides a regular place to go every week, and the people that attend listen out for each other. We have people that translate for each other. A family of asylum seekers access us regularly, and they had no English when they started. They're now learning English, and we've been helping them with that. They're like friends. It's wonderful. So I'm just going to leave you with a quote, which is a James Beard quote, something that Sultana found and has sort of become a bit of a motto. Food is our common ground, a universal experience. And that's really powerful, and it just instills the fact that we nurture by providing. Thank you.